Hey guys, this is Jason with Crane Creek Kennels. I'm making a little video here, basically covering if you're interested in getting into coon hunting. I'm going to try to keep it short. This could be a very long video, but I may break it up in part one, part two. We'll see. But anyway, if you're thinking about getting into coon hunting, maybe you've seen some videos on YouTube. Maybe you remember, back when you were a kid that grandpa or whatever had hounds or whatever, and you just kind of been away from it for a while. Something like that. Before you jump out and you spend a ton of money getting into something that you're not 100% sure of, you can go, if you got a portable drill at the house, they make lights for those combo kits. So just go buy you a light that will work on one of your drill batteries. Find someone, because most coon hunters will let you go with them. Find someone you can go with. Don't just jump out and spend a bunch of money on something till you're sure. That would be my biggest thing, because what happens is people jump out and they buy a puppy like this, and at 8 months old, he ain't treeing a coon. Consistently, every night you turn him loose, people get upset, and then they get out of it, because it's no fun. So let's find somebody to go with. Let's go with them 8-10 times. See how you like it, because there's great nights, and then there's nights that's not so great. They tree half a mile away. In my case, I live here in the Ozark Mountains. You have to hike up and down hills and hollers here, and up mountains and stuff. So, find somebody that'll take you. And like I said, most coon hunters will. Okay. Secondly, probably other than getting a dog, getting the equipment to go. You got hip waders, you got lights, you got tracking systems. I mean, everything's expensive. Dog feed, dog leashes, stuff like that. So, my personal opinion is in the light category. If I'm first getting started, and maybe I'm gonna buy me a light, I'm gonna go with a neighbor while I'm looking for a dog. I've been 4 or 5 times with somebody, 10 times, whatever. I like it. I want to get into it, so I'm gonna buy me a light. Well, K-Light is what my son's got, and there's other ones. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just. There's no video being paid for by anybody. I'm just telling you my experience. What we have. He has a K-Light, and it was either 125 or 150. I don't remember. Pretty inexpensive light. It's got red and it's got clear. It works great. You can find coons with it. He finds coons with it. You don't have to go out and spend $300-400 for a light. That light will find you coons. Tracking system. For years I didn't have a tracking system when I first coon hunted. Not one at all. My tracking system was when the dog treed, I found him under the tree. Period. Then, we used the old beat tracking systems years ago, and I still didn't buy a tracking system, but I bought a collar, because at the time, those systems will track that, pretty much any collar if it's on the same frequency. And most everybody had that frequency, so that's what I did. I didn't have a tracking system. Later on, I ended up getting a Garmin 320. It worked great, and when I got into coon hunting this time, a guy was getting out of coon hunting, so I was able to buy Alpha 100 and 2 collars, and I ended up buying a light from him too that I didn't know that I'd like, but I do actually like. But I bought it used, so I pretty much paid for this system, 2 collars and a light, for what the system would have cost me new, and it works great. You don't have to do that though. You don't have to have the tracking system. It's nice. You can see roads. You can see what your dog's doing. You can see how far in there. But if you're just getting going, fall's coming, maybe you've contemplated this all summer, and you want to now get into coon hunting, but you don't have the money to get everything you need to get. Well, forego the tracking system, get the light, You can save up and buy a tracking system later, maybe buy a used one from someone. Most everything I buy, I do try to buy used, with the exception of some of my pins and stuff. And that's another thing. You know, I got this nice building that used to be a fairing house, and you can see back here I got dog kennels, got 2. We're going to be adding 2 more, plus I built the outside ones. Well, you know, I had part of mine because I already had the structure, but I've got quite a bit of money tied up in those dog kennels, and time and money tied up in the outside part. So, you know, there's some expenses. You know, people think, oh, I'll just get a dog, throw them on a chain. Hey, I had dogs on chains. I don't like dogs on chains because they tend to bark. And one reason is some of the videos, if you go back through mine and listen to Twisted, he's a big dog. So when he opens his mouth, it ought to rattle your eardrums. But the story behind him is he was left on the chain from somebody else. I don't know the guy, when he was a pup, and he barked out. And I ended up feeding him honey when I got him, just to get his mouth back to where it is now. So, I'm not against chains. You know, if they're done right, you keep water out there for the dogs, stuff like that. And like I said, I put him on a leash, same difference as a chain, all the time. So, you know, if you're gonna use chains, that's fine. Just make sure you got, you know, water for them, you got shelter for them. They're gonna need those things, especially, you know, where I live now. I mean, years ago I lived in Alabama, so cold weather wasn't like it is here. It gets cold here, so these dogs got to have something to get out of the cold with. I mean, I think my wife would tell you, my hounds, you know, they live a pretty good life. They got, you know, cots for beds right now. We're gonna change those out in the winter, but you know, we take care of them pretty good. But so, you know, you're gonna have some expense. You know, just get started on just basic stuff. Dog food ain't cheap, and you can go buy that cheap stuff, but you're gonna be aggravated because it smells bad, it produces a lot of waste, and it takes a lot of it to keep a dog that you're hunting consistently out and going. I used to tried many different brands. Black Gold is what I found that would, years ago, the older Black Gold, that would really keep weight on a dog, because I hunted a dog hard years ago. We're using a dog food called Value Pack right now, and I really like it. It seems to be doing good, and you know, it's got the dogs, you know, pretty slicked up looking right now, so we like it. So that brings me to dogs. You know, everybody sees these puppies. You see puppies online, wherever, and you think, oh, look, it's a cute puppy. It's $200 or $300, cheap way to get into it. Well, it ain't $200 or $300, guys. You got to spend some time with this dog, in the woods, training him, walking him, you know, and it's not just throw him in a kennel until he's 12 months old and then pull him out and think, oh, magically he's going to treat coons. It may have worked like that for somebody, but it hasn't never worked like that for me. You got to put some time into these dogs to get them to where you want them. So my suggestion is, if you can buy that puppy for $300, you can probably buy that dog back there for maybe $400, $500, $600. May not be a world champion, may not be exactly what you want, but what you do want is you want to treat coons when you go out. Because I'm telling you, I've been there. If you don't, you're going to get frustrated, and then you're going to, you know, not want to hunt anymore. So go hunting with the dog before you buy it. If you're where you can, go hunting with him before you buy it, and then, you know, spend a few more $100 and get something that will treat coons. He may not treat coons every time, but at least he'll, you know, treat you some coons. And then if you like it, you know, jump back and get you one of these. This is my project, but you know what? When I got him, I made a commitment for 2 years. He's with me, win, lose, or draw, for 2 years. I'm gonna hunt him. I'm gonna train him. I'm gonna give him every opportunity to be a coon dog for 2 years. And you know, I'm already seeing stuff that I really like about him. And we can talk about puppy performance on another video, but you know, he has got some traits and some things that I really do like about him. You know, and he's a puppy. There's things that I get frustrated with, but for the most part, he's been exception to the rule of puppies. But if I was starting out in coon hunting, I spend a few more dollars and get a started dog. We'll come back on another video, do part 2 of this. It's kind of getting long, and I don't want to, be too long here and lose you. But check us out, follow us. We'll do part 2 and get it put up. And just remember, keep them treated.